First time, sir.
Where is Madame Zhao Zhao? I came for the House of Blossoms. If you thugs mean to waylay me...
Madame Zhao Zhao awaits you at the house, sir. I'm to escort you personally, if you'll just follow me.
This strutting rooster is being led right to the hen house. I'll play the fox.
You never rat show if I'm not carefully exposed. If I was to be seen dallying with these blossoms, I'd be ruined.
I wouldn't worry, sir. Not many can afford Madame Zhao Zhao's den of delights. You'll only be rubbing shoulders with folks like yourself.
Oh, you think the aristos don't snipe and gossip as you commons do? They're even worse. I was told my identity would be protected.
Oh, it will, sir. It will.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm your host, Sinistrino1, and we have more Thief Master Stealth walkthrough. There's a lot of areas that you can get into in this beginning section here, so I'm going to try to show you where at least some of the loot and whatnot is. I don't think I'm going to be able to collect all the loot, just because there is a significant amount of loot, and it's in different places, and if I specifically go a certain route, going back is definitely not good options to take. So we're going to be showing at least where a lot of the loot is.
Well, I'm certainly paying.
So kind of let them go by a little bit here.
Come here often. Evening to you, sir.
The stench. It's the smoke. Don't worry.
Okay. I don't think I can get back up there. Alright. So you got to be really, really quiet here. As you can see, there are guards. And there's glass.
Feels wrong. Ears.
Alright, so we're good to go. Wanted to grab a little bit of loot there because we're not going to be able to get it with the route that we're actually taking. So you actually have to go back up here to the beginning.
Weather's turning.
Even with the city like it is, the aristos still slip down here.
What else are they going to do with their time? Count their gold?
If I had a lordly pile of Dayport and all the poppy that money could buy, I'd bring the girls to me. Rats everywhere.
You gotta love that swoop move. I love it, huh? Okay, so you can see there's kind of a little thing up here that we can actually get up on. It is a little quite tricky. You might actually think you can't do it. I think it's on this.
I'm not paid enough coin for this
I think
shit.
it's this one. Again, you saw the reason why we did what we did.
Just keep calm.
Is once you go into this room, you're not able to steal any of the loot from that rich guy where we actually grabbed 3 items of loot, as he goes too far ahead and then we're not able to get what we need. So this way we're able to grab everything that we needed to do, still remain stealthy of course, and continue on with the mission. Pick up a few extra items here. As well as you need to go this way, because if you're like me and you want to get a lot of collectibles, you're going to want this little bad boy.
I'll take this.
You guys can take a look at it here, a little bit more in its glory. It's awesome. Alright, so we're going to keep going now. Is I'm going to show you a lot of secret ways that maybe you have not seen if you've watched anyone else's walkthroughs. Is every mission has multiple ways as to get in and where you can start from. And I'm going to show you a way that I bet a lot of people don't even really know about. We're not quite there yet. You'll get the chance to see exactly where we are right here. See, there's a guard right there. There is a piece of food right there. However, that's all it is, and you really don't need it. And there's that guy. So, if you remember correctly, when we were standing right over there,
This gloom is everywhere.
that is where that guy is. Now, you're like, oh crap, that's a big drop. Have no fear, as the rope arrow will guide you. So if you don't have any rope arrows, obviously you're going to have to go back and just go the other way. But at least this way gives you more collectibles. As this is going to be a pretty long mission, as there's really, like, I guess you could say there's 3 sections to this level in itself. So it just depends on how thorough you are, depending on how long it's actually going to take you. You knows me, I always like to look around, because you never know when you're going to find something. Alright, so that's just some health.
I might be dressed in leather, but I don't think I'll pass as the cabaret act for the evening. I'll have to sneak inside.
We've been expecting you, sir.
So this is what I was saying, you can't really get behind him and grab that loot that you need. Now if you look this way, it's just the other way that I showed you earlier when we came down to the area, is that little drop down there. So this is obviously a quicker way, just as stealthy to bypass all that.
Absolute security.
Wow, did you hear that? Wow, that's awesome. That was amazing.
Quietly.
And you can't go back. Ah, that was pretty, that was funny. You gotta watch out for those little things. So you'll see a little area right here. We're gonna get to that in just a second, but not right now. This is one entrance that you can get into this area. This is like the front door entrance. You can just use that little level right there. Okay, I don't see anything down here. Oh, there we go. Now it's time to head back over this way. And use your environment, obviously. Gotta get up though. Alright, there we go. It wouldn't let me do it. Alright, so as you can see, this is another little secret area over here. And this lets you start from a much better location. Now, I know you might be thinking to yourself, how am I going to get over there? And of course we can't go down. Where there's a will, there's a way. Nope, you got to do. I always forget. Now I've noticed on the 360 and the PS3 versions that when you do those things, it loads. You don't even get to see that whole thing. It's like kind of a barrier for loading, which is why the 360 version is able to be made, because you know you obviously have to load more. It doesn't have as much power. Alright, it's time to let the magic begin. And what a lot of magic we have. Here we go.
The madam's chambers would be a good place to start. If I don't spoil the mood in here, I can fill my pockets too.
Alright, so here we go. It's always funny whenever you can steal earrings from
Your first
a
time,
woman.
sir. What a delight.
What? How do you know? I'm wearing a
He's
mask.
having a good time, isn't he?
Your face I was watching, sir.
I'm not feeling all that well.
Okay, that's the only valuable collectible there.
I think I spotted my cousin here.
That is where the other entrance, where you can actually enter through the main entrance right there.
You're so cruel.
So no matter which way you go into this section.
About your cousin. You're trying so hard to avoid my eye.
Come on, Susie. You know the madam's rules. No touching the merchandise.
Well, perhaps when your shift's over, what will you do then?
I'll shuffle home. Dick and paw like always.
I like all the little whispers that goes on.
What's happened to this place?
Brings a little bit of an immersion.
No. Stay awake, or it's me who'll get rutted.
Oh, the opium bucket is almost empty. Can you help me fill it?
I need to finish these drinks. I'll come over when I'm done.
That's a lot of opium. If I overload the pump, it's sweet dreams for everyone. There's a mechanism behind the tank. We must control the shutters.
So if you want to kill everybody,
I know
power to you.
to always look under the mask.
But we're not going to be doing that. That will actually take everybody out in the entire level. Not the entire level, but in this brothel section. And then you can loot every single loot item that you would ever want to think of.
It's been 5 weeks now. I didn't see Lord Van Vernon.
He'll be fine. Rich folks don't get the gloom.
It's his heart I'm worried about. Every time he sees me get undressed, I think he's going to die right there on the rug.
Rats everywhere.
Did you see Duke Thorburn tonight? With Madame's bonus for extras, I could milk that man dry. He keeps talking about his cousin in the treasury.
You'll need to wash the silks for a week if you milk anything out of Thorburn. But his boring friend Horatio What's-His-Name is here.
Gotta watch out for that guy right there. We were about ready to turn off that candle. Luckily we're in the dark enough, so we should be fine. There's a guard right below us. And that's the room we were in the beginning when we entered into this section. But before we move on...
Dear, I've heard it's like stroking a turtle.
Oh, I'll never look at it the same way again.
Mother was right. The city looks best with your eyes closed.
You can see she's got some earrings on her as well.
Gods to grave holes. If the fog could take the watch back out with it.
Old gods, new gods, they never listen.
Watch out for this bird here. Don't move too fast. There's a lady that's glitched over in the corner. It's actually pretty funny. She runs up the stairs like in a glitchy kind of way. I wish I could show you guys, but... Alright, so... we're gonna wait right here because this guard's gonna be coming.
Gloom is everywhere.
There's also a bird cage right there, so watch out for that. And there's a woman who's upstairs. She'll be coming... oop, right there. Crap. I thought she already made it upstairs. Might be best just to wait here, because she's taking an awful long time to get up there. Okay, so we're going to wait here again, as we're not going to risk any chances this time. Yep, there he is.
Tough times.
I got a little bit more freedom here. long as we're always in the dark, then we're good. He should be coming around the corner again here anytime. And she will be coming from upstairs. So I'm going to wait for him before I start heading upstairs. There he comes. I can see his shadow, I think. Yep.
Some of the toppers these girls have to cater to. Phew. I'll be glad when this is all over.
You see there's a way up there with a collectible. I'm just kind of looking out for her. And of course this guy here I'm very wary of. Okay, he's gone. There she is. We'll go ahead and hide in here just for fun. We never get to hide in these things because we're always usually hopefully stealthy enough. So we're gonna be heading upstairs now. Again, it's so much easier to get to where actually you need to go, but I make it harder just by getting the amount of loot that I get. He's right there. Woo! I love close calls. Alright, remember there still is a bird here. I don't think there's anything else. No? Okay. Let us go upstairs now. We've pretty much collected everything that is downstairs. Well, not quite yet, but we're close.
Wish there was a sloop stall nearby.
I've done appalling things. And that's just since breakfast.
A fine piece.
You should confess.
You guys can take a look at that. I think that was our second piece that we found in this level.
Sins to me, so we can do worse.
How long do we have?
Making sure there's nothing else in here.
Wonder what they put in the sloop.
Now you can actually go back in here. Don't worry about these guys in here as they will not see you. As long as you're quiet, of course.
I'd welcome some warm coffee.
And here we have the first piece of the puzzle that we're going to be doing. Client, Benicoros, the House of Blossoms, indulge your every desire. The Crown, the House of Blossoms. It's kind of like a little puzzle, I guess you could say.
It's cold out tonight.
Got another guard there. And that guard there. Get rid of many of these as you can.
You scratched me.
Say you went on a hunting trip and were savaged by a wild animal.
A hunting trip to Riverside.
It's getting late.
I see you have two new blossoms working tonight.
Yes. Peach and Neroli. They're good girls.
Then I expect that to be reflected in your contribution.
But you already upped the black tax twice this quarter.
The trouble on the streets is making life difficult for everyone. It would be a shame if the opium trade started experiencing delivery problems to the strip.
I'll have it for you later this evening.
Good. If I have to wait, then I'll have a bit on the house. Something young and juicy.
I shall call Jasmine Blossom.
Jasmine's getting too old. I want something younger.
No! Petals do not work directly with the clients. You know that.
Are you refusing my request?
You will have your tax. But the rules about my girls will be obeyed. Even by you. Jasmine will fulfill your requests.
She better. Have everything ready. Oh, and, I'll take that hummingbird sweet.
Why someone hasn't cut your throat by now.
Alright, ladies and gents, here we go. There's a few more items to pick up down here before we move on.
Oh, Captain. You have a fresh depravity every visit.
Learned them on the shitcake streets, girl. Things are changing up there.
So hungry.
I'm told they've been burning the bodies in the open air.
Oh, terrible. Where did they say this was happening?
The bastard not hurting her again.
Ooh, that was nice and close.
Smells terrible around here.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Uh-oh, did it again.
Collect great works. I collect perversions.
Okay, it's back. For some reason, just it all like just stopped the music and whatnot. I think we got everything we needed to get. Hopefully. If we missed something, I do apologize, but I think we've taken enough chances.
Though tonight.
I've said too much. The
Okay, he's
drinks
coming
are
back.
spiked, aren't they?
Why don't we share another? Just to be sure.
Some night, Madam's more nervous than the clients.
I wish they wouldn't hang pores on the bridges. Very nearly kills one's mood.
I can give you a rope burn that will bring it right back.
And what would one need to give in return?
From my villa in Aldale, the smog turns the most remarkable shade of rust at sunrise.
My, you must be well favored by the Baron.
I'm getting sick. I know it.
So just wait for him a little patiently.
Starving.
Don't worry about these guys right here. Believe it or not, they don't see you. Don't ask me why. Now you'll notice right here is actually a cool little kind of thing that I'm going to show you in just a second.
It hurts. Worn out.
You can hear his footsteps. We might not even have to do that, but I'm not going to risk just jumping across. Now remember, he can still see, so I do still need to be fast and get out of the light. Let's take out that document. Strong box. And in that one, so we'll get to that in just a second.
Some of the toppers these girls have to cater to. Phew.
Rats everywhere.
Of course, all that's just to make sure that we're not being seen. And we still got a lot more stuff to collect before we actually move into the room.
My neck aches.
Alright, this is what I was talking about earlier.
Gods to grave holes.
You look down. Do I see it? Can't see it from here.
Hungry as
Actually, maybe there's not one on top. I thought there was a piece of thing on top of here, but I guess not. Okay. Alright. So we pretty much almost got all loot so far. Maybe missing one or two things, possibly.
I'll be glad when this is all over.
There is a bird on the other side, so be careful.
Smells terrible around here.
They say that your hands are as kind as wolves.
I'll give you something else to say about this.
Okay, so we got exactly what we needed to get. And we've got 3 of 4 documents now. A list of constellations in the night sky. All this is going to tie in together here in just a few minutes.
Tough times.
Just checking. I don't see anything shining bright like a diamond. Okay, we are ready to move on.
we still have our lives and most of our teeth.
I feel that we've collected a lot of loot already, so we're ready. And this is probably where I'm going to go ahead and cut the video after this here when we get to the next section. Is since I've taken so much time to collect loot, I'm not really sure what the time is at right now. Alright, so we'll get all the loot before we grab the mystery. I always like how that looks.
Aches.
I wonder if she ever comes into this section, if you look in there sometimes. Wonder why you can't pick up those. Alright, so there's something there. Is there anything else before I continue? Okay, looks to be about it. Alright.
Something strange is going on. I'll find this hidden passage Zhao Zhao mentioned for myself. It must be in here.
Alright, explore the brothel for clues. Access Zhao Zhao's secret passage. Let's look at that document that we just picked up. 4 out of 4, so we already got all the documents we needed. And this is what you need to see. Now, this is kind of how it's so easy. Coil's combination. Coil's The client is Benedict Coyle. The star sign is the Crown. The House of Blossoms, indulge your every desire. Go to the list of constellations. Look where it says the Crown in the night sky. 573. Sometimes if you put 2 and 2 together, you can come up with marvelous things. Now, you'll also notice there's a box, which means that there's probably a booby trap safe here. So, unfortunately, if you don't have the wire cutters, then you're going to get shocked. It will not kill you. It'll only just hurt you. So, we know the combination, 573. Nice. Doesn't get us really anything too special, but now if you open up the safe without having the wire cutters, it'll shock you. Leave it open. If you close it again, it will shock you again. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And I think that's just about all we can collect here. We've collected so much already, and it is time to move on to the next section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe for some more awesome stealth walkthroughs. What's really cool is I got early access to South Park, since South Park is a Ubisoft game, and I got a sponsorship with them. I will be able to play South Park this weekend, and then be able to put out the videos to you guys whenever the game is released. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next part.